we're all about building community. Is this in the best interest of building community? It doesn't matter who's wrong or right, or who has the better idea. Who has the best idea in terms of our customers in the best interest of building community? And I think a lot of that stems from the Calgary entrepreneurship community. It's incredibly open, it's incredibly responsive, and it's incredibly giving back. Anytime I have a question or I want to reach out to another entrepreneur for coffee, I don't have a problem being able to talk to someone. Everyone is very giving. Everyone's really willing to share. And so as we kind of became leaders in this space, we felt it was a bit of an obligation ourselves to be able to play a role in that as well. And so we've hosted a meetup called Startup and Beers, where we have an email list of hundreds of small business owners. And every once in a while, we bring everyone together, and it's kind of like a matchmaking where we just want to get people in a room. There's no business cards. Everyone has to introduce themselves, and everyone has to say what their challenge is. So everyone knows each other, and there's a bit of matchmaking where we try and get everyone who needs to talk to someone else and learn from someone else. There's a lot of different facets of building this community. And for us, it's more geared towards the small business community. But there's a lot of facets within that we truly hold true to building community. It's not just a marketing slogan on the website. It's a core function of our business.
I've heard the North Star referenced a number of times in the interviews I've had. And when it comes down to having those pillars or that one singular focus and to use that to settle an argument, which supports that, right? Like it helps. Yeah, it helps with that dialogue. It helps with the focus and on and on. So interesting to hear you use that point and the building of community there. I want to put a plug in for the Calgary entrepreneurship community for Alberta as entrepreneurs. I was just on a flight yesterday. I was talking with a gentleman who's built and sold a number of oil and gas companies. And we were talking about the difference between entrepreneurial cultures among cities. Vancouver is a lot of new money and a lot of external money that's come in and really kind of overnight, call it 20 years, made a lot of people rich in things like real estate. Sure. Very different culture there. You go to Toronto, you've got a lot of old money. You've got a lot of family money. Nepotism runs deep. Whereas you come to Alberta, and that's the West. That's where you have to go and just get dirty and get things done. And there's a culture there that you can go and talk to people and just put an ask out. And it's really supportive that way. So it's neat to hear you say that.
It's incredibly supportive. There was a study done by a company called Startup Genome, and it was done for primarily tech ecosystems. So they studied tech ecosystems across the world. So they've done Silicon Valley, Tel Aviv, Barcelona, Amsterdam, London, Calgary. So there's a study done in Calgary. And one of the highest scores among any city that they've done this with was local connectedness. And Calgary scored the highest, which is fascinating because we're not a huge tech hub, right? Where we're not known as a big tech hub. But somehow Calgary scored the highest among local connectedness. And I think that speaks volumes, especially when you're comparing us to places like Silicon Valley or like these massive, massive tech hubs around the world, Berlin, and Calgary scores one of the highest. And that speaks volumes to the fact that it is a supportive community. It's not, me versus you. It's not old money versus new money. And, we're on different paths. It's, hey, we're all in this together. You're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I respect that. I don't care where you're from. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care about your background. I care about you rolling up your sleeves and getting to work now, because really that's all that matters. And so I found that to be fascinating.